the more we see, the less we know regarding the crisis rocking the opposition People's Democratic Party, PDP. In another twist to the crisis, the PDP national chairman, Iyorchia Ayu, said the party is not built on any individual and no one can destabilize it. Speaking in Kano, Ayu declared that the PDP is built by the people, hence it is on course to winning the 2023 general election. Babajide, yes, Ayu is talking tough, and Wike said yesterday that in a short time that we hear from him. Now, I don't know, Wike is enjoying this moment. Him and his lieutenants, Dr. Governor Ekwazu, Governor Sheyi Makinde, following up and down. They are now national heroes. Your tongue. But the problem, the bottom line now is that if you were to be the chairman of the People's Democratic Party and the flag bearer of the People's Democratic Party, what can be done? They've exhausted the room for dialogue. They've done every other thing.
I'm not sure they've exhausted the room for dialogue.
So those demands.
How many of those demands have they made for you?
You ran an election with me. You lost an election, and you now turned yourself.
Hold on. It's not see. Don't see it. You are imagining that he's the only person who thinks that certain things are wrong.
Yes,
that's the mistake. That's the mistake.
It's just the mouthpiece.
You know, when people are suggesting they should suspend him, are they serious at all? You suspend Wike? Even in APC, when the national chairman moved against the governor, what was the result? A sitting governor? And the bulk of those governors are southern governors. The issue of balance, whether we like it or not, the issue of balance, PDP had always had it, whereby this one, the presidential candidate, will be from the south, and then the national chairman will be from the north. They've always had that balance. So those who complain about that, they have a point. Don't for a moment imagine that it's only Wike who thinks like that. The day Ayu's matter comes to vote, that is when you will know that it is not Wike alone. There are some governors, how many governors have even come out to oppose what Wike said? Amongst them.
Publicly.
How many?
That Wike is holding the party to ransom.
Our governors, governors criticize one another. We've seen it now.
Yes.
We've seen how many have said, on the issue of the national chairman, how many governors have said it is wrong? Who is that southern governor who openly say no, there's nothing wrong in having presidential candidate from the north and national party chairman from the north?
Even the
who will openly come and say that? These are the things. He knows what he's doing. He's pushing because he knows that there are many of his colleagues who may not publicly open their mouths to complain about some things, but he knows how they feel about some of those issues. And then some of the demands like, okay, let us put our people in the campaign committee and all that. Those are not big demands. The one that is difficult, those who are, even the NWC is divided on the matter. But there are those who believe that this is too close to the election. If we said Ayu should go now, so close to the election, what do we do? The issue now, the confusion, the big confusion is, if you are saying Ayu should resign, the law says that when he resigns, it is the vice president not that takes his place.
Okay.
It is the vice president not. It's similar even in APC. It is the vice president not that should step in. Now, the vice president not, you think that it should not be Northerner that will be chairman. But if he resigns, if his resignation we're talking about, he has to be.
That means the purpose of his resignation would have been defeated.
Would be defeated. So the idea is now what they can do is probably dissolve. That's why it's difficult. You either dissolve the NWC and then bring in other people to make sure that, okay, that problem is solved. Because if you tell him to go and another steps in there, you have not achieved your aim.
Mujid, Wike is enjoying the moment, and in the next 9 months, if he doesn't maximize what he's doing now, if he doesn't play the right game, he will just be confined to the dustbin of history.
I think I must let the PDP know what they are up against. Wike has these 3 governors, 4 of them now. There are 2.4 million votes in Rivers, 2.5 million in Oyo, 1.4 million each in Benue and Abia. So if you aggregate all this, there are about 8 million votes by this governor. So for Ayu to say that a single individual cannot dictate to the party, he is saying that because one of the conditions given by Wike for negotiation is the fact that Ayu must resign before they can even talk. Now, it's not only Ayu that is saying that. I heard Chief Bode George the other day saying that
the devil has entered the party.
he said there are 6 main positions in the party, in PDP, that not a single one is from the Southwest. So that how is he going to convince his people to vote for PDP? That Ayu said if a presidential candidate emerges from the north, he would resign as a sacrifice. He said that it's written on tape. So now,
as it happened under Jonathan,
he has tasted power now.
Now he now put a caveat that he only said if he wins presidential.
Oh.
Now he has added a caveat now that if he wins, he
power
didn't
is
say
sweet.
no, because power is sweet. So that's why you can see Seyi Makinde aligning with Wike on this matter, and also Autumn and Com.
Because many of them think that it's even time for the Southwest.
For the South,
they've never produced the chairman of the party.
Not even a matter for Southwest, for the South. That they had an agreement, and now Ayu is saying that because he has tasted the thing, so that's why 8 million votes are in contention.
That is even assuming that it is limited to those.
To those 4
I know a governor
that is not talking.
I know that a governor that doesn't talk, who is
with them
in agreement, full agreement with the Wikes of this world. So people assume that it's just Wike alone. It just happens that he's the one who has the capacity to talk at every opportunity. So it doesn't mean that others too, that he doesn't have supporters.
And we also need to let them know that elections are like the premiership. It's not like mathematics where you add 2 and 2 and you get 4. The moment you lose 8 million votes, you need an extra 8 million to catch up. So if you are losing 8 million, we are talking of 16.
Maybe that's why they were excited about the prospect of Kano yesterday.
Yeah, and they should understand that Shekarau, I have a lot of respect for him, but his power and influence have been seriously decimated by Kwakwanso and the governor and Ganduje. All right.